that we talk so much about intuition, and I also given a very brief introduction to intuition. Now let's move into module 2, a very short module. We talk about what is intuition so that we're all on the same page. And then after that, we'll go for a short break. Yeah. Okay. Myth number 1 about intuition is that a lot of people believe, last time me too, that intuition is found only in some special people, especially my fellow classmates last time. They were so intuitive and not me. Why not me? So conclusion back then was that only special gifted people can have intuition. That is myth number 1. I debunked that for myself many years ago. Once I found out that, hey, actually, I can actually improve my intuition as well. So debunk for yourself also. Myth number 1, intuition is found only in some special people. Cross out. No. Okay. Everyone have intuition. Myth number 2, is people always think that intuition is an additional dormant sixth sense. People 讲第六感 or sixth sense. This is myth number 2. People always believe that intuition is an additional thing called the sixth sense, and only gifted people will have that sixth sense. Wrong. Number 1 wrong is not only gifted people, everyone have intuition. All right. And number 2 is that intuition is not exactly the sixth sense, and that sixth sense is sleeping inside you. Not exactly that. So I will talk about that, why it is not the sixth sense. It's not an additional thing about that you should have or shouldn't have that talks about intuition. Right. So this is myth number 2. I will go into that. Now, what we have been using all this while, if I may call it, is physical perception. What is physical perception? Basically means we are using our 5 senses to perceive things showing up in this world. That's why it's called physical perception. And physical perception is a way of energy perception. So the broader umbrella is called energy perception, because all of us are using energy perception to see things, to feel things, to feel the energy with what I call that surrounding us. Right? This is one of the way is called physical perception using the 5 senses. The big umbrella is called energy perception. This is how we see the world. Now, intuition is just a matter of a broader case of energy perception. So if you want to draw a chart, right, energy perception is on top, and then one branch is called physical perception. The other branch is called intuition, but both fall under the umbrella of energy perception. Now, the thing about physical perception, is that we are using our 5 senses, and our 5 senses are actually very localized. Localized basically means it's all about here and now. Here and now. So it's very localized. So for example, if you use your eyes to see things, you are seeing what is there here and now. In now, this time, and then here, this kind of space. Same thing with the touch. It's also here and now. Same thing with hearing, same thing with smelling, same thing with tasting. Is always here and now. So physical perception only give you that much and limited by here and now. So therefore it is called localized. Intuition, on the other hand, is a broader case of energy perception that is not localized and is not restricted in time and space. Earlier on, before we get started, we went on to this guided meditation on group energy, setting up group energy and connecting the group energy. This is an example of broader case of energy perception, which is not localized. It is not restricted in time and space. That means we don't have to be in the same space before we can have this kind of energy perception. So remember this, energy training is not localized, it's not restricted in time and space. Then, if that's the case, what is intuition? How is it different from physical perception? This cartoon here is to give you a very brief illustration, a very rough illustration to show you the difference between physical and intuition. Now, physical perception, basically, we perceive things with our five senses, which is very localized. That means here and now, the five senses. Huh? Intuition is receiving information also through the five senses, but information that comes in are not restricted and not localized and not restricted by time and space. So therefore, intuition is still using your five senses. In short, it's not the sixth sense, but intuition, how to connect and what's the medium, what's the bridge to receive intuition is also through your five senses: your eyes, your nose, your ears, your mouth, your touch. All these five senses. Use these five senses to improve your intuition. So see these five senses as the gateway or the portal to receive the intuition messages. Remember this. Now, you may have come across situation yourself, or hear people sharing with you their stories that they actually didn't realize they're using intuition until they look back at past events. So certain things like this, I know some of these might have happened. These are just some simple examples that I hear people talk about. So to them, it seems very real at that time. At that time, is no one friend was telling me, I thought I saw Tom crying. Tom actually was our friend, okay, but was not around in the same physical space. But then the other friend who I was with at that time was telling me, hey, suddenly I thought I saw Tom at the corner crying, but physically Tom was not there. All right, and it turned out that my friend that received this kind of intuition messages through his sight. I mean, he saw something. Okay, he saw something, and that something is not localized. It is not restricted in time and space, but he saw Tom, which is were our mutual friends, at one corner crying. And it turned out that few days later, we learned that I think I can't remember which parent passed on. Okay, which I can't remember which parent passed on, and we attended the wake. So he saw, I didn't see. Right. So this is intuition messages. So again, how to receive, and it's not sixth sense. It is also receiving information through one of the five senses. Okay, one of the five senses. So it's not the number six thing that you may have or should have. No, it's still the same five senses. Okay, or sometimes you may also, suddenly you hear somebody telling you to stop, halfway, to stop. But there's no one, there's no one talking to you actually. Now, talking about this, let me share with you one real life example about myself. When I was about 20 over years old, me and my wife, back then girlfriend, okay, went to fly to California. So we were roaming around in the street aimlessly lah. And that day we don't have really any serious agenda, so we were just roaming around, walking. So we come to a traffic junction. That junction was pretty empty, nobody. Me and my girlfriend on one side, and then there's another old man on the other side, dressed like a beggar, something like that, a beggar, old man. And we were just crossing lah. So the light turned green, we cross. The old man also crossed. Remember, old man is opposite side crossing over. Halfway mark, the old man suddenly turned to us and say, guys, turn back now. Okay, guys, turn back now. Okay. um when the guy passed us, I was a bit shocked because it was really talking to us. So when I turned back, I didn't see anyone. Seriously, I didn't see anyone. Okay, so at that moment, I see and I hear. I see an old man dressed like a beggar, and then when we were crossing halfway mark, when that guy, the old man, was passing by me, talk to us, talk to us, saying that, guys, turn back now. That moment, straight away, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just hold my girlfriend's hand, turn back, walk back. Okay, I didn't check further. I couldn't find the old man already. Okay, So that night when we went back to the hotel, I checked with the concierge. I say that, that area, I took out the map lah. I circle out the area that we were crossing. Okay. I asked the concierge saying that, hey, that area, actually, what is that area about? And we were trying to get there, but someone told us to turn back, something like that. I told the concierge. The concierge was a bit shocked and told us saying that, lucky you turn back. That area, if you cross over, that is the area where all the drugs kingpin, all the drugs dealer, all the tua tao, tai long or whatever, all will be gathering there to do their deals there. Okay, so it's actually out of bound to normal people lah. Also, we were lucky, that someone told us to turn back. Now, luckily, it happened in broad daylight lah. If it's nighttime, I think we'll be scared lah. Okay, so this is, when I look back now, I seem that, yeah, I also have this kind of intuition. Okay, so yeah, something like this. Also through the five senses, not anything sixth sense. It's also through the five senses, which is for me that moment is the sight and the hearing. Okay, and then there's certain time whereby you may feel that there's a strong urge to do certain things. For example, strong urge to turn right, especially when you're driving, or turn left, or whatever, or stop, something like that. So these are certain urge that you may have. These are the feeling type. The fifth sense is the feeling type, the touch type, the feeling type. So you may experience all this through any or a combination of the five senses that you already have, I already have. Okay. Now, once you learn this kind of intuition, it's very difficult for people to know that, whether you are using intuition or you're not using intuition. So this is really a life skill. Intuition is a life skill, which is the other 50% that all of us should be using, complementing the logical mind and the rational thinking. So therefore, in short, intuition is about sensing energy without the physical body limitation. That means we are not limit by the here and now. We are still using the five senses, but it's not limited by here and now. That means it could be a different time zone. It could be a different time space. It could be a different spacing. What do you call that? No need to be in the same location. So it's beyond the physical part. Therefore, since it's not bound by time and space, therefore we can actually go back to the past, and we can also venture into the future. Now, just now when I talk about, we'll be learning these tools about considering all options that you may have. For example, option A, B, and C, which one is a better fit for you? This is actually venturing down the future, right? The possible future timeline that you could be exposed to. Which one is a better fit? Now that we know intuition is not bound by time and space, then this become possible. Okay, this become possible. Huh? So therefore, intuition gives us the ability, the opportunity for an empowered change. That's the purpose of looking into the future, so that we can be empowered to make certain kind of changes that can alter our future timeline. So it can be used here, it can be used there, it can be used anywhere, in fact. Now the thing about this term called knowingness. Not many people use this word knowingness for now that I know of. Not many people are using this word. I'm not sure whether you have heard about this word before, knowingness. To me, knowingness is the ability to just know things. Sometimes you may see people say, I just know. Don't ask me why, but I just know this is not going to happen. Or I just know that he is not reliable. This is called knowingness. So don't ignore this kind of knowingness if it comes across to you. Knowingness is just understanding something. There's something. Okay, so now in order for you to be able to know knowingness, then that comes the concept of thought. Okay, thought is a special case of understanding, which also means the knowingness part. So our thought is very important. Now, our thought so far have been trained and conditioned to still fundamentally be restricted and localized. Do you agree this statement that our thought is still fundamentally restricted and localized? Not our fault. Okay, not our fault, not your fault, not anyone's fault, but we were being trained and conditioned since the day we were born to use our thought within the confine of time and space. Okay, so what do I mean by localized? What do I mean by restricted is that, they are really restricted by our belief system. Belief system. 100 years ago, if we are able to travel back in time and we tell people 100 years ago that there is something called Wi-Fi, they will obviously say you are crazy, because in that time 100 years ago they will never imagine that Wi-Fi could be a thing, that it could be working. So they are actually assessing what we say based on their belief system at that time. That's why their thought is confined in that manner. It's localized and it's restricted by whatever they know. So that's why it's very difficult for them to think that, to believe in us, to believe that, Wi-Fi could be true. So moving forward today, when somebody tell you that certain things could be possible, for example, improving your intuition and things like that, looking at the pathway into future timeline, don't brush it off, because we don't know enough. Now, you may not know enough to say that this may work, this may not work. Okay, so therefore, don't make ourselves use our thoughts in this manner. What manner? Localized and restricted. Don't do that. Huh? So if you want to be open up, open growth mindset, then we have to remove that restriction. So knowingness is actually understanding without pictures. Now, what is pictures? In the awakened unseen energy within the full program that, I think we just completed last week. Pictures are actually basically our belief system. Okay, our belief system, and we always filter what we receive through this belief system first. That means if it's something that your belief system already believe in, then you will allow this information to come in, even though it's intuition. And then if let's say something that comes in is against your belief system, or something that your belief system is unable to comprehend, straight away, your logical mind will come in to say that this is rubbish. It can't be true. Don't have to believe in. Then that's it lah. Then your knowingness is gone. So therefore, intuition is again understanding beyond your pictures and your beliefs. So we must open up to not be restricted. So rational perception has to do with your physical world, local to your body, here and now, time and space, and local to your beliefs. Intuitive perception is open to physical world and the energy world, and it's not bound by time and space, and it's not bound by your pictures and beliefs, and it has unlimited understanding. Seriously, unlimited understanding. Right? So imagination is more important than knowledge. This is a statement by Albert Einstein, and especially when we deal with intuition and we want to train into our intuitive abilities, that's where sometimes we have to put aside knowledge, and we may want to rely more on imagination. What can possibly happen? Let me open up to say that, okay, I'll be open to receive whatever comes. So I won't prejudge. The neutrality comes in. I won't prejudge whatever going to come, and I will just receive it with open minds and see what it is. Right? So this is called, neutrality. Okay, so I think with this, I have covered what is intuition, so that I'm bringing all onto the same page to talk about intuition. So let's have a quick warm up guided meditation exercise to warm up your intuition. Are you keen to do that? A guided meditation exercise before we go for a break. Are you keen to do this warm up exercise? Type yes in the chat box if you are. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Fiona. Okay, good. Let me pull out the video. So if no sound, let me know. Huh? Thank you, Kok Kyung.
Go ahead and close your eyes. Ground your body. Feel yourself being more present in your body. Bring your boundary to arm's length from your body. Notice how's that feeling different to you? Be in the center of your head. With your analyzer turned off, think of a cafe or restaurant that you like to go to. And just imagine that you are right there right now. What does this place look like to you? Is it quiet? Is it loud? Remember some food or some drink you had there. Imagine it's there with you now. What does it look like?
Oh, Samuel, you have audio issue. Okay, wait a minute. How about the rest? How about the rest? How about the rest? Are you able to listen to the voice? No problem. Andrew is okay. Samuel, do you want to check your Wi-Fi? Let me rewind all over again. Okay, let me rewind all over again. Restart. Restart. Okay, I'll play now.
Ground your body. Feel yourself being more present in your body. Bring your boundary to arm's length from your body. Notice how's that feeling different to you? Be in the center of your head. With your analyzer turned off, think of a cafe or restaurant that you like to go to. And just imagine that you are right there right now. What does this place look like to you? Is it quiet? Is it loud? Remember some food or some drink you had there. Imagine it's there with you now. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Or feel like in your mouth? Is it hot? Or is it cold? Enjoy the sensation. As you look around, notice one more thing about this place you haven't noticed before. Now, I want you to imagine a favorite place that you lived in the past. Some old house. Some old apartments. And just notice what color was this place? Can you picture that in your mind? What did the floor feel like? Are they carpeted? Or wood? And just imagine you can feel yourself standing in the place right now. Notice what was your favorite part of the place? What were your favorite experiences here? What kind of music did you listen to here? What was something fun that happened here? Really let yourself feel that experience. Notice one thing about this place that you haven't noticed before. Now I want you to imagine one more place. This time imagine like a future vacation you are going to take. Some beautiful nature spots. And just imagine you are on this vacation right now. You don't need your analyzer. You can turn that off. Let yourself feel. What do you see around you right now in this vacation spot? What do you hear? Maybe some birds, some nature sound. Notice if you can feel the sun, the wind, the water on your skin. Notice where is this place? How do you feel in this place? Are you relaxed? Are you comfortable? Notice one more thing about this place. Now imagine there is a good friend with you in this vacation place. What does it feel like when you are with that friend? Notice them smiling at you. Just imagine. What is this person thinking as they look at you? If they talk to you, what would they say right now? Really enjoy that moment. Now, bring your attention back to the room you are in right now in your body. With your eyes still closed, begin to sense what is around you. What is the furniture in this room? See if you could feel where the walls are in this room. Even though your eyes are closed, can you imagine you are seeing some of the objects that are nearby? Imagine what if your attention is up at that corner of the room, by the ceiling looking down. What would that look like? Notice one more thing about this room you didn't notice before. Now, let yourself be present right behind your eyes, in the center of your head. Be completely grounded in your body right here and now. Smile and open your eyes.
Okay, good. Are y'all all back with me? Type yes in the chat box if you are back with me. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Helen. Okay, good. Now, thank you, Fiona. Now, have you noticed that what we did during this guided meditation is we bring you back in the past, a place whereby you have gone before, you have experienced before, bring you back. And then we play around with your five senses. We ask you to see, we ask you to feel, we ask you to taste, things like that. Okay, so that is trying to warm up all your five senses by revisiting those places that you have been through before. It could be your old house, could be the house that your first house or your previous house, that you shifted from. Feel that. Then after that, there's somewhere in between that we ask you to go and notice one thing that you have never noticed before. I'm not sure how many of you have seen certain things or noticed certain things that I never noticed before. Now, that part, if you have noticed something, that part is the intuition part. Okay, intuition part, whereby back then you may have seen but you may have forgotten, or you may not have seen but it's there, but your energy perception have already locked in that part of the information, and now you're recording that part. Okay, so therefore, if you can really sense something that when we ask you to notice one thing that never noticed before, if you can sense something, if you notice something, you pick up something, that is your intuition, right? Next, and then we move on to a future vacation. Now, this is future already. So we move into another timeline called the future, a future vacation, where it asks you to imagine the type of vacation that you want, ask you to go there and then feel the sun, feel the whatever, and then imagine a friend. Imagine you're going on vacation with a friend, then you can imagine that that things already happened, that you were there with your friends, and how would you interact with your friends? Were it cordial, were it friendly, or will it lead to argument, or whatever information that comes up from there. Okay, whatever information that comes up from there, you can say that it is your imagination, because you're letting your thinking run wild. For now, I allow you to say that that is your imagination, because you allow it to run wild. But after practices, after many rounds of practices, please don't tell me that is your imagination anymore. Right? Those are so-called messages really. Those are so-called messages that is likely to happen if you go on that vacation. And then also ask you to notice one thing you never noticed before. All these things are actually picking up information, trying to drill in further to say that, hey, squeeze out, give me some more information. That liner is actually trying to squeeze out some more information. Notice one more thing you have not noticed before. Get that? So this is actually consciously tapping on your intuition. This is just a warm up. Okay, Helen shared that not does anyone experience warmth during this practice meditation 3? Anyone else? Now, how do you feel? Do you want to share your experience going through this guided meditation, this warm up meditation? Anybody want to share your experience? How you feel? This is the first step in tapping on your intuition consciously. That means while you're still awake. And then when you are awake already, when you open up your eyes, right, the information is not like you just wake up from a dream and then you forget about what you dream, right? This is really conscious. Anybody want to share your experience? Or anyone felt nothing at all? Or anyone picked up something that you suddenly you find that, hey, I didn't realize that before. So I just want to tell you that, if using intuition is harder than this exercise that you've just gone through, I can only tell you you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. If let's say now you tell me nothing, okay, it's so hard, then you're trying too hard. Like I say, you should have this control problem, okay, and don't go for exact science. Just feel, just go with the flow, feel, and things like that. Let the information comes naturally to you. When that happens, you are in the flow. Not to worry, because this is the first time warming up, doing an actual warming up of your intuition. Okay, Andrew say halfway through the video, suddenly I got deja vu that I heard this message. What message again? What message? Would you like to share? It's okay if it's sensitive. Not to share, it's fine. See, deja vu. Yes, very good example. Or the message that I played. Okay, good. So it seems like you have heard this before. So sometime back, maybe in the past, you may have unconsciously tap into today's energy, tap into today's workshop energy, as though you were attending this workshop and you were listening to this guided meditation that I just played. And therefore, right now, today, here and now, you are listening it with your physical perception, and then suddenly trigger off the thinking saying that, hey, it's like a deja vu. I think I've heard this somewhere before. Wow. Don't be alarmed. If you have those deja vu, don't be alarmed. Okay. Because somehow unconsciously, maybe in the past, you may have get connected to this energy before. Anyone else want to share? So thanks, Andrew, for sharing this. Anyone else want to share your experiences? So if you don't have anything at all, you find that it's just like a sleeping meditation like that, nothing to feel, is all right, because this is the first warm-up exercise for your intuition. Okay, if you didn't get anything, likely you're focused on your physical world and your belief. That means you are filtering off with all your belief system, all your pictures and all these things. Therefore, very limited information get to pass through that filter. And therefore, when I ask you to notice one thing that you never noticed before, nothing comes in. When I ask you to taste or to talk to a friend, no friend comes out. Something like that, because you've been using your filters to go and filter off. So turn down the analyzer. Remember, one part of it, I asked you to turn down the analyzer. That's basically to turn off the filter. Let anything want to come in, come in. All right. So don't worry. I've said that. I say that again. Don't worry. That's okay. It's just a warm up. Just keep practicing. So a lot of time when I just started out with improving my intuition, a lot of time intuition often feels like you are making things up. Okay, making things up. So Helen, you mentioned about the warmth during, you experience warmth during this practice. How do you feel? What's your feel about this warmth? Feels good? feels threatening? Or do you receive any kind of messages coming up? No worries. Okay, so now it's 3:24. No messages, huh? Okay, no worries, no messages, no worries. This is just a warm-up, first one. So we'll go for a short break. Okay, we'll go for a short break, 10-minute break. And later on, I'll talk about how to know when you're making it up or when you are making intuition. Yeah, that is after the break. Huh? Andrew say, haha, exactly feeling. I often felt that I'm making up myself. I understand, Andrew. I understand this feeling. Huh? Uh, I've been through that. That's why I'm sharing with you my experiences, my thoughts, my feeling back then, and I'm thinking whether am I on the right track or not. Often than not, tell yourself you're on the right track. Or intuition is like making things up, but then somehow you're not making. You have this feeling that you're making things up, but actually, if you go deeper, it's not making things up. The information just comes in like you're actually watching a movie on its own, running on its own. Helen said it was part that asked us to feel what is different. Okay. Okay, good. So there's no messages. Perhaps you have filters turned on. You didn't turn down your analyzer. That's why you may not receive the messages that comes through. Okay, so let's go for a short break. I'll start a timer. So if you have questions about earlier on lessons, feel free to type in the chat box. I'll address them after the break. If not, then it's fine. Right. So we'll go for a short break now. I'll start the timer and I'll see you back in 10 minutes time. See you.